There's a very interesting new poll from the University of Southern California, which is making headlines because Joe Biden is winning by 11. I don't want to talk about that. I've already told you, Joe up 11 with a margin of error of 3.5 means maybe Joe is only up 4. And if Trump picks up a point between now and November, you could have the exact same outcome as in 2016. So I don't care about Biden up by 11. What I care about in this poll is that it looks at non-voters from 2016. OK, in the United States, embarrassingly, tragically, disgustingly, only about 55% of eligible voters vote. 45% of those who could vote did not vote in 2016. The turnout was 55%. The preliminary data from the University of Southern California poll finds that among those who didn't vote in 2016 but plan to vote this year, 52% plan to vote for Joe Biden, while only 32% plan to vote for Donald Trump, and another 16% say that they would vote third party. Now, it's also notable that among those who voted third party in 2016, they are also leaning towards Biden. 41% of those who were third party in 2016 are going Biden, while only 30% of 2016's third party voters are going for Donald Trump. That's huge. And of the people, when you combine that, 71% of third party voters from last election are not voting third party this time around, which I think does go to the understood significance of this election. But I want to focus on the non-voters. OK, 2016 non-voters who are going to vote are leaning towards Biden. The obvious question is, how many people is that? Right? If there's 100,000 non-voters from last time who are going to vote, that's very different than if there are 10 million non-voters from 2016 who plan to vote, if indeed 52% of them are going to be voting for Joe Biden. And just as importantly, how many people are there who did vote in 2016 and don't plan to this time around? No data on them. Another important question. But this is another signal that our instinct from a year and a half ago continues to be proven true. We are way better off trying to just mobilize people to vote than we are trying to argue with Trumpists to get them to change their minds. It's very clear that a majority of those who didn't vote last time, if we can get them to participate, that helps Joe Biden. Just finding non-voters from 2016 and getting them to vote helps Joe Biden. If you can target it to people who are already on the left but didn't vote, that's the win. Spending time arguing with Trumpists whose brains have turned to mayonnaise is not a good electoral strategy. And then we get to the problem of voter apathy in the United States. There is no question, when 45% of the eligible voting public doesn't vote, there's no question that part of the problem is we are not ingraining civic engagement and the importance of voting from a young age, where if people are growing up in households where, of course, you vote is the default. If kids are not hearing in school as early as whenever we vote, that is what you do. If that was the situation, our turnout would be far higher than 55%. That's one part of the problem. Our voting system is also part of the problem, and we can't ignore that. The system we have dissuades voting. And if you look at other countries without mandatory voting, with significantly higher turnout, you see that sometimes they have different election systems. New Zealand has a mixed member proportional system. Their turnout last election was almost 80%. Germany has a mixed member proportional system. Their turnout was 76%. We have a first past the post system that perpetuates the two-party duopoly and dissuades voting at all. Now, many of you have called me during live calls and you say, David, what the hell's going on with third parties? Why can't third parties get going in the United States? Part of it is the spoiler effect of the first past the post system. And part of it also is campaign finance. So there are many problems here. I don't believe that the intent of the founding fathers was to create a system that dissuades participation, but it's what it's become in the modern voting era. From the standpoint of this election, let's target those who didn't vote last time. It's a good idea. The data backs it up. We can't bank on non-voters showing up. Some of the least reliable voters are people who didn't vote last time, unfortunately. But the numbers are on our side. Arguing with Trumpists is a waste of time. And the numbers show non-voters from 2016 much more likely to support Joe Biden than Donald Trump. I think it's an interesting area to focus on, particularly in battleground states from here on out. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.